Greetings friends, Jawless Paul here. In this video I wanted to go through all the weapons in Hades 2 and talk about what I like about them, how I would rank them, and anything else that I can think of, maybe some tips, or if I think of a build that people should try, I'll do that. But how I'm going to do this is we're going to start with one weapon, talk about all four aspects, and then I'm going to rank them. So I'm not switching back and forth like a mad person. So that's how we're going to go. And then also it's going to be S tier through C. Nothing really goes below C tier in my opinion. Really not very much is in C tier anyway. I feel like the weapons are extremely well balanced. Like they all have really viable builds. Once again, this is just my opinion. This is just based on all the runs that I've been on and the builds that I've managed to put together. I always welcome feedback or ideas. If people are like, you missed out on this amazing build, you got to check it out. I'm so happy, so happy to see what you have put together. So please let me know in the comments below. And sorry about the zoom in. It's zoomed in so that when I swap over to the tier maker, it's like lined up properly. So just bear with me. It's a little bit zoomed in, I realize. Okay, we're going to start with Aspect of Millennium. Gain mana and power for your specials. So I actually like Millennium a lot. I think the special is a very good type of attack for this. I actually prefer the regular special. It reminds me a lot of the bow actually, and so I play with the special a lot like the bow. And so the Millennium staff is cool because it gives 40 extra power to the specials, so it's pretty strong already. And then if you get a percentage based thing going with it, it's awesome. And then there are a lot of really good hammers for it that affect the special. Dual Moonshot is a little bit rough because of the shorter range. Shimmering Moonshot though is incredible, super good. Try this with Demeter, try this with Hera. I think you're gonna like it a lot. Rapid Moonshot, also very good. I like just the basic special. So I like it a lot, but I would put it in maybe in B tier. I like it because it's so like it just focuses on the special aspect, but we got to put something in B, and I'm gonna put Aspect of Millennium in B tier. And don't get me wrong though, it has some great builds and there's some great potential. There's also going to be some rankings that are just going to be based on vibes. You know, Aspect of Millennium is cool, but it's so basic, and so generally the Millennium aspects are probably going to be lower down, especially if the bonus is like not very interesting, right? Let's talk about Aspect of Circe though. Whenever you use cast, so does your animal familiar, forming a psychic leash, which does 30 damage, and so you get double casts, and you get this psychic leash. This is probably becoming one of my favorite weapon aspects by far. It's so powerful. There's so many interesting casts that you can use. The best animals to bring for this would be Rocky or Tula. Tula if you're doing a death build with Death Defiances. I think this is an easy S tier weapon, so much fun to play, and really the only weapon that like uses the animal familiars, which I think is great. I mean, it matches with Circe, right? So Aspect of Circe, S tier for sure. If you haven't checked out, I've got a video where I got like 250,000 damage over a run on the surface with the Aspect of Circe and Hephaestus cast and Poseidon's Omega cast. It's super fun, super cool. Aspect of Momus. Whenever you use your Omega moves, each fires in place up to 3 times until you use it again. This is probably one of the OG really cool weapon aspects. I like this a lot. I still do like it a lot, but the effect is sort of basic, and even though it looks really cool, like I love the little snake. It's a snake, my friends. I think I have to put this in A tier. It's super mana efficient, but a lot of times I end up setting up a special or an attack, and like enemies just move around a lot, right? So it's just not going to always hit, and so sometimes it just feels like it's not that great. So we'll put it in A. it's still very, very strong. It's also less interesting than the other aspects, in my opinion, in a lot of ways. Yeah, that's what I have to say about Momus. Anything that you can get that increases percentage based, it's going to be great because you're getting those big damage numbers from the Omega attack and special. Aspect of Anubis. This one changes the staff a lot. Instead of your regular attack, you get this kind of area of effect thing, and then your special becomes it like pulls enemies in. You can't really see it here, but you pull enemies in, and so what you can do is you can set up this like circle, and then you pull enemies into it from outside. Also, it creates these shades that will that whenever you slay a foe, a shade will come in. It also increases Omega move speed and damage. So it's got a lot going on, and it's weird. I think it's super, super good, though. I'm going to go ahead and put it... I debated on this one. It's part of me wanted to put it in A, but I think it actually deserves S, especially if you can put, like, Circe on the attack. Like, look how big this is. You put Circe on this, and every enemy is taking the 24 plus the percentage increase, plus all the Circe, whatever her curse is called, right? That's an amazing effect. This is bothering me now. What is her? Hitch! All those enemies taking hitch damage on top of everything else. It's super, super strong. And then if you also set it up with your cast, so you're getting that bonus from your cast as well. Super, super great. I think Anubis is a really fun. This is a hidden aspect, though, so you're not going to get this right away. It'll take a while before you unlock it. It's great, though. All right, so let's switch over then. Let us switch to... Okay, so we got Melinoi in B, Circe in S, Momus in A, and Anubis in S as well. I don't think it's as dominant as Circe, but it's certainly very good indeed. All right, let's talk about the daggers a little bit. Daggers. Aspect of Melinoi, your attack and specials deal more damage by striking foes from behind. This is a really cool effect, I think. It's really, really fun to try to get behind enemies, and if you use the Omega attack, you get the backstab, and if you use the special, it comes back to you. The Omega special does not return to you, notably, so you don't get that bonus backstab damage. I think this is a really cool effect. I'm going to put this in A. I think, well, actually, I'm looking at my notes and I put it in B. I'm kind of debating about that. It's really solid to have it do 100% bonus damage. But let's be true to my original thoughts. Trust my my past self that it belongs in B. Really, the biggest issue with all of the daggers, I'm just gonna say, is that they're dangerous, right? Like, you're going to be up close and personal with a lot of these. Like, the range is just not very big on any of these. So, but you want to get behind enemies. You want to try to get that backstab. Also, the backstab feels like that's a backstab. Wait a minute. That's not a backstab. That is a backstab, but that wasn't. So it's sometimes it's hard to determine. Like, that's a backstab. How that's a backstab, I don't know. But the way they determine backstabs is a little bit rough. Maybe that's part of it. Let's put it in B and call it a day. But you get that bonus, 100% bonus damage, which is great. Double damage, can't complain. Aspect of Artemis. The other problem I'll say is that you're trying to get behind an enemy and you use this, but if the enemy is up against a wall, you will do this hoping to stay safe by being behind them, and you'll just pop right here. So there are some enemies in this game that like shotgun blast. And so if you do that and they're up against a wall, I'm thinking of those little snake things that shoot out the purple things, and they shoot three out at a time. If you do that and you end up right here, you're taking like 50 damage minimum, probably, if you sit right here. So I find it to be a little bit dangerous to rely on that. Okay, let's go with Aspect of Artemis now. You channel your Omega attack and occasionally parry, then repost right after. Basically, the way this works is you get this like shield. When you get attacked, you hear this very distinct sound, and that means that you've parried it and you don't take the damage. And then when you appear behind the enemy, you are doing crits. You're doing crits. 9 strikes will have plus 50% crit chance. Your Omega attack speed being higher is also nice. You're able to charge that up faster. It recharges the repost. Oops. The repost, or the parry, I should say, recharges over 12 seconds. So it's a while before you get it again. I find Artemis to be kind of cool. The fact that it's got a defensive aspect to it. Repost also, so you parry and you don't take the damage from that attack. Repost also then prevents damage. Yeah, impervious for 1 second. So for a second, you're impervious, and your next 9 strikes have 50 crit chance. Pretty good. I'd say Artemis, I'm gonna put that in A tier. It's got a lot of potential, but once again, I always feel like anything that relies on your attack, which aspect of Artemis does, you're just going to be up close and personal with enemies. Can be very, very fun. It's got a very high skill ceiling if you're really good with daggers, and particularly with this and your timing, your parries just right, it can be really, really cool. So I think a lot of people can be like wizards with this, but I am not really, but I do like them. So A tier. Aspect of Pan. Your special seeks foes in your cast and fire more shots if you channel longer. It's pretty self-explanatory, but you fire off all of these and then they all go to the same person or the same enemy or whatever enemies are in there. Very, very, very strong. As you can imagine, there's a lot of hammers as well that really help a lot with this. So specials deal plus 15% damage and they bounce. Specials have plus 15 power, deal damage in a wider area. Specials deal plus 20% damage. Omega fires 3 more shots. Hidden Knives is great for this. Let's see. Channel your special faster is also great for this. And then these are for the Morrigan. But I like this one a lot. I feel like it's also a little bit tough to get, but I'm going to put this one, let's put this one in S tier as well. So we got B, we got A, we got S, and then we got Aspect of the Morrigan. You have Crow Cutters, which can perform the Ritual of the Blood Trial. So the Blood Trial just means that you have to get a basic attack, a basic special, and then one of your Omega attacks, and then it does 777 damage on top of everything else. And then there are hammers to make that a bigger number. The Morrigan is really cool. It really changes the move set of the daggers a lot. It slows down the special a lot. So if you rely on the special, it's a little bit weird. I don't love the special. I'd say the special is probably what I like the least about the Aspect of the Morrigan. But Crow Cutters is great. The Blood Trial damage is great. And yeah, I guess I'm going to put this in, what did I do? I think I put this in A. Yeah, let's put it in A. It's solid, but it feels slower too. Like it doesn't have as much speed as the original daggers do. So it's a little bit strange and maybe a little bit hard to use. I have to say though, I probably do need to practice with this one more. So let's put it in A, and we'll see how that flies with everyone. So we said Malinui would be B. This would be A. Pan is S, and Morrigan is also A. Yeah? Yeah? Seem good? All right. That's going to do it for the daggers. So far, we're pretty evenly spread for the most part. Let's go to the torches. Okay, now we're going to not be so evenly spread anymore with the torches. Your attacks and specials may deal critical damage. All right. This is great. Anytime you can do critical damage with anything, it's great because criticals are not double damage but triple damage. So you get 10% crit chance, which is not reflected here, I don't think. Like we haven't gotten a single crit, so it's not exactly working as noted here against Scyllaeus. What if that? Okay, that was a crit. Maybe it's just the attacks don't show the crit. Oh, there it was. Okay, 10%. I guess just 1 out of 10. It's a lower amount than maybe we might expect. The move set for the attack and special though are just so stinking good, you guys. Like there is nothing not to like about the torches, and the Malinui torches having crit, super good. I think I put this in A tier. Very, very solid. Let's go with the Moros torches. Moros torches, you have these like your attacks kind of do these like circles, and then you use your special to blow them up. Alternately, you can get your special going there, and then it like kind of automatically blows them up. It's pretty amazing. Lots and lots of damage. I think this might be one of the higher damage potential weapons, just generally. Aspect of Moros. However, it's I guess the trouble is I compare it to the other torches. They're so good. They're all like above what a lot of the other weapons do, in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and break my own rule and call these S tier because I think that they are. I think that they do that much damage. They're so much fun to play. Let's put them in S. and the theme will continue. Aspect of Eos, your attack fires a Daybreaker that deals damage in an area around it every 2 seconds. What they don't tell you is that Daybreaker, well, so it seeks out enemies, so it's going to seek out an enemy. It also fires all of your specials, including your Omega special. So this one attack is such a huge deal. It does so much damage. You can get like Apollo on it to do double hits if you get his legendary. There are so many cool things that you can do with this weapon. I love it. It's also extremely safe. You can sit off to the side, launch this off, get your specials going, and then you don't even have to be by the enemies. You just fire your specials off and it's going to do so much damage. I think this is an easy S tier. Maybe it's in line to be the strongest weapon in the game. Not in terms of raw damage, but just in terms of being so safe, being so powerful. I think. I guess I can't really say that because it doesn't do enough damage, I don't think, to be like the best thing ever. But it is super good. I love Aspect of Eos. If ever I want to do a run and I'm just like I want to make sure I win, Eos is a good bet. S tier. Aspect of Supai. You have the Devil Sparks, which also enhances your rush boon. So a little bit strange. You're constantly firing your attack and special. Like you don't have to activate it. It's kind of a lower damage attack and special. And then when you use the Omega, it makes it faster. When you use the Omega attack, it fires off like higher damage attacks as well. This weapon has had a lot of iterations. It's been completely broken. I think it's actually in a really good spot. I like it a lot. And the fact that it also enhances your rush boon is interesting. And I think if you were to get this with like, imagine if you got this with Hera's sprint, that would be a lot of damage, and it's boosted even more. So Aspect of Supai, I put in S tier as well. Gotta check it out. So much fun. All right, that's the torches. Let's put them in their spots. I think I put this in A, and then these all three are going in S tier. I mean, it's just, once again, my opinions. Just in my opinion, these are some of my favorite weapons. Well, let's talk about Axe. Aspect of Millennium, gain bonus attack power and life. So the attack on this weapon is really good. It's really strong, and and obviously the Omega attack. To me, the Omega attack is sort of the bread and butter of the axe generally, for this aspect and for the aspect of Thanatos, which we'll talk about. Very strong, and just very hard to be damaged when you're doing this, because you can move around. It typically will stop enemies in their tracks. Putting Demeter on the attack with the axe is super good. I'm gonna put this in B, just because it's giving a lot of bonus damage and health, which is exactly what you want, and which is great. But it kind of it's just not interesting, right? I guess maybe that's not a very fair assessment, but it's just kind of a basic thing. Super fun, but not super interesting to just give it attack power and health, I guess is what I'm gonna say. So we'll put it in B. It's strong though, I think it's a strong weapon. All right, Aspect of Charon though, your cast erupts like stronger Omega cast when struck by your Omega special, and increases cast size and damage by 30%. The way this works is you get your cast there, you line up your special somewhere, and you fire it off, and it is awesome. It is a very expensive thing. But if you can get some Omega cast boons to enhance your cast, it's great. And then you also, the most essential thing is to get Apollo's Apollo's mana regen boon. If you haven't done this yet, you absolutely have to. Lucid Gain, whenever your casts expire, you restore mana. So you basically get refunded all of the mana every time you use the special after your cast. Okay, so it's really, really, really good. This is an S tier weapon as well. I think this and Eos are maybe two of the most like the easiest weapons to get wins with. The only thing that really slows this one down is just how long it takes to charge up your Omega special. But if you can get like Hermes boost to Omega specials, or Omegas, just Omega speed, it can be extremely devastating and very, very difficult to fight with. Okay, aspect of Thanatos. Let's take the aspect of Malinois, but make it just better in every way, other than the fact that you don't have as much health. So it doesn't have the bonus damage, or the bonus just flat damage, but you get what's called, what do they call it? Lethality, mortality. Fleeting bonus of 2% crit chance for your Omega moves up to a max of 20%. So when you attack, you have a faster attack speed, which is great on the axe, by the way. Like that's exactly what you want, is faster attack speed, because it's a very slow weapon. So you get that, and then 20%, it does 20% chance to get crits. We've already talked about how good crits are. I mean, they're really, really good. So mortality is awesome. And so aspect of Thanatos, very, very good. I'm going to put this into A tier. I don't think it's as dominant as Charon, but it's extremely good. The axe just suffers from being a little bit slow, and the damage is good, but it's a little bit risky. Like I always end up putting something like Demeter on the axe just to have that freeze, and then you don't have to worry as much about enemies killing you. So that's aspect of Thanatos. I like it. It's not the best though, in my opinion. All right, aspect of Nurgle. Here's where I'm going to make some enemies. Aspect of Nurgle, you have the Rock Lion Mace and become Berserk after you strike enough foes. So basically you have a different move set. Instead of your first attack being fast and then your last attack being slow, it reverses it. So your first attack is slow, and then after that your attacks are all pretty fast. This is a really cool weapon. Like I love the vibes of this weapon, and I think that like once you get the Berserk, you're so fast and you're getting health back. That being said, I find it to be a very dangerous weapon to play with. Even though you have the healing, it kind of makes it's just sort of difficult for me to make it work very well. Like I end up not like just taking more damage than I need to, especially when there's like a lot of really fast enemies or enemies that are ranged and you're like chasing them around. Let's see, what did I do with this one? I put it in B. I know that people are not going to like that. The other problem is that the Omega attack becomes almost unusable in my opinion because it's so slow, and so you kind of lose out on the whirlwind. The special is interesting, but not particularly useful. Like sure, things gather around. They gather around you, and then you can use this and kind of hit things around you. It's a thing. I don't hate that, as you know, that part of it. I guess I never use it though. Yeah, that's my feeling on Nurgle. I know a lot of people they're really dominant with Nurgle. I feel like it's a similar thing to how people felt about Arthur. Like Arthur was so good on paper. But then when I would actually play with Arthur, I just didn't do very well with it. So it's just my personal take. I don't do as well with Nurgle. Okay, so where do we say these were? Let's see. The Malinois axe is in B, Charon is an S, Thanatos is an A, Nurgle is also in B. I don't know what to say. That's just the way. It's just the way I feel. And I gotta be true to myself. Let me know if you have an amazing build that I should know about. All right, let's talk about the skulls now. The skulls are another weapon that I feel like a lot of really powerful aspects in here. So the aspect of Malinois, your attacks have more power for each shell fired and not yet retrieved. So as you fire and you have them waiting for you, they're dealing more damage until eventually they're dealing 91 damage. And if you only collect one, and it's hard to collect only one. You basically, you just get more damage based on how many you have out. And then if you get the hammer, what's the hammer that gives you more? Yeah, you get 2 more shells, so you get even more bonus attack. And then you can find things like, like wide grin. You're firing them all out at once, and so they all deal damage, and that's great. There's a lot of really cool options when you're using this. Aspect of Millennium is really powerful. I think of all the Millennium weapons, it's also very powerful, like the Millennium torches. I'm gonna put it in A tier. Just that extra power. It's not the most interesting thing in the world, but like if you're just sitting on a boss and just blasting, like you end up you do so much damage. It's just ridiculous. I think the skulls are amazing. I should also mention there's one that explodes that uses your Omega attack whenever retrieved. Yeah, Possessed Array is ridiculous. So every time you pick up your shells, you basically fire your Omega attack, and they cost 25 mana. So this is a good reason. I mean, if you can find that hammer, you just want to get as much mana and mana regen as you possibly can, because that's going to be doing so much damage for you. Very fun. I think the skulls just generally are such a fun weapon to use, and I like it. All right, aspect of Medea. Your attack stays within reach and explodes after landing your specials. And it's and at max rank, you get 90% bonus attack and special damage. This is a crazy effect. You really there's not much to say. I guess you don't have the bonus power that you do with the Millennium skulls, but you get so much bonus attack and special damage. I don't know how this weapon is it's so fast and it's so powerful. This is an S tier weapon for sure. I like to use this weapon a lot. Important to note that though this looks like a dash, this special is not a dash, and so you want to be careful when you're using it. You won't. I've sometimes gotten confused and tried to special my way out of like ring attacks or big area attacks, and it doesn't work that way. So you'll end up taking a lot of damage until you kind of like figure that out. You have to dash through bad red things and then go. The special works the same way. Omega attack works the same way as the Millennium skulls. Super strong. Okay, aspect of Persephone, your Omega special is sprouted. Unless you change direction, boons start with more levels, as though they already had palms on them. Yeah, so after a while, you can change the direction of your special. It's a little bit weird. It can be really good. And the fact that boons start with extra levels, it fits with the Persephone thing, right? Persephone gives you the palms, the different types of palms that give you more levels on your boons. So it matches. I feel like this is a little bit janky. It's not bad by any means, but it's not as strong as the other ones. I put this in B tier. The extra levels is fine, but you don't get to control how many levels and which boons they apply to. They just kind of, when you pick up the boon, it gives it levels, and it's a little bit strange in that way. So if other people have experience with Persephone and they really like it, I am very keen to hear your take on that. I'm really curious now if, okay, this one just has gems for eyes. This one, the pupils are looking in 2 different directions, making it look very, very silly indeed. Maybe those are not supposed to be pupils. Maybe that's supposed to be something else, but I've always thought that looks like the eyes are looking in 2 different directions, right? Like it's got that like weird dopey look to it. I don't know if that's intentional. All right, Hell. What did I say? Aspect of Persephone. I'm going to put it in B. Yep. Aspect of Hell, you have Frostmane, which grants the Way of the Valkyrie after your Omega special. So for this one, Rather than you turning into the projectile, you send off this projectile, lasts a lot longer and comes back to you. You can't use this special while it is there, and you don't have the invulnerability of the Omega special with the... I forgot to mention that, but all the others, when you use the Omega special, you are impervious while using that special. So it's a very cool effect. This one though it's more of a projectile. And even if you were to fire off the projectile, it just bounces around and hits things and then comes back. This reminds me a lot of the shield, right? When you would use the special on the shield, it would go out and bounce around and then come back to you. This feels similar to that. So you can tag a lot of enemies with it. So if you put things like Blitz on it, that could be great because it tags a lot of enemies with Blitz, and then you do other types of damage and whatnot. That's not amazing though if you're using the Omega special, because that does a lot of raw like weapon damage. Anyway, but then the other aspect of it is you fire this off and then suddenly your attack becomes this machine gun, and it is so stinking good, you guys. It is so good. I really like this. And there's a few that Valkyrie lasts 3 more seconds. Leering glance, your attack shots bounce toward one more foe and deal plus 15% damage. This is like super fun to watch them just like bounce around and do just crazy amounts of damage. Maybe my favorite aspect of this is that you can put I think I put Hera on the special, and I put Hestia on the attack. So I had like burn and hitch, and so just so much damage was going off, and you could just fill the room with this with enemies just having so much hitch. And then I had the one that made it bounce, and so everything was scorched as well. It just was a thing of beauty. I really like Hell. I like let's put it in S tier. Okay, what did I say? Melinui skulls are in A. Persephone I'm going to put in B. Medea is an S tier. Hell is an S tier as well. Okay. That's how I feel about the skulls. Let me know what you think. Okay, now let's talk about the last weapon. Last but maybe least. I don't really like this weapon or not just weapon in general. But let's talk about each of the aspects. Your attack, sprint, and move speed are faster. This is an interesting one. I mean, obviously you move around faster. Your sprint is faster. I don't really care too much about like movement speed generally. I mean, I like it a little bit, but it's not a very large effect for your movement speed. Like you get the Hermes. There's a Hermes boon that gives you more. Or no, it's not Hermes. It's Apollo gives you some movement speed on your sprint. Anyway, your attack speed is faster, 20% faster. So you're punching faster, and that's pretty good. There's a couple weird things about this weapon. One is the Omega attack. It gives you a shield while you're charging it up, but I guess you can see here that while it's not being charged up, it does not provide a shield. So you want to be careful about that. The shield there, and then if it doesn't go off, like if you're out of mana, you'll just be sitting there. So you want to release it. It automatically releases though if you just charge it up. Anyway, but you also go backwards. It's a little bit strange. You have to get so close to enemies. Like if it was a charge forward, maybe that would feel a little bit better, but it's kind of not. So I don't know. I don't know exactly how to feel about the aspect of Melinui. Well, actually, I do know how to feel about it. It's the only one that I put in C tier. Aspect of Melinui, coat, Xinth is in C tier for me. Don't love it. Aspect of Selene, you start with Skyfall, a hidden hex that strikes multiple foes and applies Shine. This having a hex right out of the gates is really cool, I think, and I appreciate it. I think it's really fun. I forgot to mention the special is these rockets, which are cool and they look really cool. The only problem with the rockets, just generally on all of the weapons, is that they just take a long time to get where they're going. So I kind of dislike them just in general, but they work the same on all of these, I think. But yeah, the Skyfall is really, really cool. Hex, or the Curse of Shine is afflicted foes take 50% more damage from Omega moves. So if you use your, what I like to do with Selene is to use Shine and then utilize my Omega specials, and that deals even more damage. They have that little moon over them that lets you know that they have Shine. Anyway, I think Selene is pretty solid. I put Selene in A tier. I think it's, you know, it's maybe the best of the coats. So yeah, that's where we start. Aspect of Nyx, you have Omega boost, which lets you produce night spawn after you activate it. And so the way that this works is your boost is for your dash. It's a little bit weird, but you charge up your sprint. You see it, so it's charged now. When I run into an enemy, it does 300, and then my attacks and my specials have kind of these extra attacks that come out. And so it's a little. If you're a little bit confused about what that effect is, or if you didn't see it, let me do it again so you can see it. So the attacks have the extra little whatever, and the specials, and it doesn't last all that long, but it is there. And yeah, so the specials fire off and have extra rockets that fire off afterwards. Okay. I think it's one of the more interesting ones. And the night spawns just do 75% of your basic damage, so they don't do your full damage. It's okay. It's a little bit janky though, and I've never felt like the night spawn damage was doing much of anything at all. Maybe there's a way to get it so that you're like, it can tag a lot of enemies. So maybe if you use it with like Incinerate or something, let me know in the comments if you found an aspect of Nyx. Okay, actually, I'll go back. I do know an aspect of Nyx build that's pretty good. It's the beach ball dash build, and honestly, now that we have a really solid dash with Hera that does a lot of bonus damage there, I was using Poseidon, which actually I think we might need Poseidon for beach ball. Anyway, beach ball is the one where you like a ball kind of fills up behind you, and then when you stop dashing, it kind of shoots ahead and explodes, and it like the whole screen kind of explodes with beach ball. That's kind of cool. It's a little bit, it's just a weird little build though, right? Like this is not meta defining in any way. I don't think. So I put Nyx coat in B. Nyx coat is in B. It's not the worst thing, but it's certainly not the greatest thing either. Then aspect of Shiva, you have Purifying Grace, which absorbs special blasts to grow Destructive. And Destructive is your Omega attacks deal 50% more damage per rank. So at max rank, it's doing 300% bonus damage. And the Omega attack on aspect of Shiva looks different. It actually shoots forward, which is really, really nice. Really, really nice. So you fire... Sorry. Have to actually get my mana back here. So this bounces 3 times and you stay in place. So that was 3. You need a lot of mana for this. Okay, that's not what I meant to do. Yes, great.
I head toward Olympus, I defy the fates themselves.
And that charges up. And now you have it. Now we have the max. And so you charge up your... Whoops. Oh, let's not do that. Let's go like this. Let's do the proper... Oh, wait. Oh, I messed it. So, as you can see, it's a little bit weird. I'm not the biggest fan of this. I think that it's kind of cool. And I got like the Saitama build the other day where it's like the one punch build. So then you do 1,260 damage with a single punch, and it hits multiple enemies. Like it hits an area. Pretty cool. Really hard to set up though. Like it takes a lot of like effort to get the punch set up to be really good. And it only affects your Omega attack, so it doesn't affect all the regular attacks that you're doing. It's a little weird. I haven't found a way to make this aspect like really pop to be super, super fun. Let me know in the comments if you're a Xinth fan, you know, the black coat. if this is your weapon, please let me know, because it is definitely not my weapon, and I'm not exactly sure how to make it awesome. The types of builds that I've used with the coat that have been pretty decent is on incinerate on your attack, and then you do the dash attack, which really only works with the non-hidden aspect, because this one, it looks like it just does a single explosion rather than the multiple hits. So this is good for incinerate, because you get lots of little hits, and they all deal the incinerate damage. You can stack it up very fast. That's been really good. I've also like aspect of Selene with the special, so you get shine on everything, and then you kind of just run away and fire off your specials to hit enemies, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good, and you can stay somewhat safe. And it looks cool. The rockets flying around. They're just very slow. It takes a long time for them to get to enemies. Okay. Did I say something about? Did I say the rank of Shiva? It's B. I'm putting it in B tier. I might get into some trouble for that one too, but I gotta follow my heart on this one. All right. So this was the only thing in C. Selene is in A, and these two are in B. So here is our ranking. Here's our ranking. Is this how I would put things? I'd probably do something like this. Yeah, I don't know. It's like there's a single build with Charon. That's the only problem with Charon, is it's cool, but it's a singular build that is S tier with Charon. The rest are just kind of meh. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. Oh boy, we got Eos. How would I do that? I think it's probably going to be something like this for ranking. Do I put Circe in the top? Maybe I do. I don't know. It's either Circe or Supai, I think. Gosh, I don't know. It's hard because I'm thinking about like how powerful it is, but also like how safe it is, but also how interesting it is, right? And how much I just personally enjoy using it. So anyway, that's the way I feel about that row. A tier. I think I'm gonna put Than Axe at the top of A tier. Maybe this right under it, like that. Selene's pretty good. I think I'd put it up like there, maybe. Best B tier. It's probably got to be Nurgle, right? Like Nurgle is barely in B tier. The staff is maybe the best of the three, just because it feels like the bow, and I love the bow so much. Persephone, are those two? I think maybe Persephone is like that. I don't know how to feel. I really struggle with Xinth. Xinth. I don't know how to pronounce that. Yeah. But this is going to do it. This is how I feel about the weapons in Hades 2 as of October 7th, 2025. I'm sure as I play more Hades 2, I'll change my opinions. Please leave a comment if you have a build that you think is awesome and you want me to try it, and you think, oh my gosh, JP doesn't know about this build. How could he rate the Malinui coat all the way in C tier if he didn't? Because he clearly doesn't know about this thing. So let me know. Let me know in the comments. Very keen to hear. All right, friends. We did it. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy.